If today you hear God's voice, harden not your heart. If today you hear God's voice, harden not your heart.
People of God, I wish to welcome you to this week's Sunday reflection with the Friars. I'm Friar Davies Chanda Chileshe to present this reflection. We are already in the second Sunday of Lent, and the readings of today make an invitation to every believer to give everything to the Lord and to receive from Him whatever He sends us. Total trust and dependence on God should be our main theme of today. The big challenge that a modern man faces today is placing his faith in God, surrendering his whole life to Him. Having faith in God to some extent means abandoning one's will and embracing God's will. Life obviously appears to be much easier when one follows his own will. A common modern man thinks that by surrendering his own will to God, he allows himself to become a slave. The first two verses of Genesis chapter 22 are quite problematic to almost every reader. And so our first question would be, how can God ask a man to sacrifice his son? Is that not immoral? Or how can one justify that? The only answer to this difficulty is that God does not actually, in the end, ask Abraham to kill his own son. The point of the account in Genesis is not about God asking Abraham to do something immoral, but about Abraham being willing always to do the will of God. Abraham is called our father in faith because of his complete dedication to doing whatever God asks of him. The most important teaching of this passage is therefore the faithfulness of Abraham. He had believed God totally, had left his land and his country, had given up the security of his home and the protection that came from his family and tribe. Abraham delinked himself with the past because he was sure that God would keep his promise and give him numerous descendants. Such faith must be initiated by a modern man, must be imitated by a modern man who must give up his pride, individualism, selfishness, corruption, dishonesty, love of money, power, and the list of vices is endless. We may doubt at times what God might ask of us. For example, we find it difficulty to accept the evil that is in our world, the bad things that happen to good people, the atrocities against innocent people that go unpunished. People ask how a good God can allow such evil things to happen. Yet such questions are truly not about God, but about us human beings with our sinfulness. We are broken beings who don't always choose what is right and good. In short, we are in need of transformation. Though just a glimpse, Jesus in the gospel shows that transformation or transfiguration is possible. But transformation can't just come about from without. To achieve that, we need not to follow a human path, but rather a divine path which Jesus has prepared for us. Transformation is indeed possible, but like Abraham, we need first to strip off all our human longings and make them secondary. Many times we fail to receive greater things in our lives simply because we are often not ready to surrender what we have, to drop our pride and put on humility. Beloved people of God, may God grant you a gift of deep faith. I wish you.
If today you hear God's voice, harden not your heart. today you hear God's voice, harden not your heart.